Good morning from Delaware, Ohio, the home of the Little Brown Jug. Yours truly, Roger Houston, along with Susan Schroeder. Samantha Mayhew as well with us today. Samantha's going to have to look after me during the broadcast, and when I drop the stopwatch or the binoculars or ink pens, because once you get in these chairs, Susan, we stay in these chairs.
Yeah, we can't get out, can we?
We had a little trouble with the internet this morning. These are all by tape delay, so sit back and enjoy qualifying races from Delaware, Ohio. They're off and trotting, going right out for the lead on the outside. That's My Secret Money as they race into the turn. Speed and Be With You gets away on top as taking a seat. Curtis Harper with My Secret Money. On to the backside they go. Racing third. What Speed Limit as they race down the backside fourth. That's Ann Instead. Go on to the first quarter mark. Off stride. Opening quarter in 30 2/5 as they race into the turn. Horse making the break was Clifton Bell's Poquito. Rosie Weaver moves up into the fifth spot now with Tom's Queen. There goes a break by What Speed Limit. 2-year-old trotters making some mistakes here in the first, but trotting out on top of the field. It's all Tyler Smith at the half with Speed Be With You in 59 1. The end of the turn they go. Speedy qualifier here for 2-year-old trotters. Staying right with him, though, is My Secret Money and Curtis Harper. Moving up third, down the backside, going to the three-quarter mark. Matthew Brown with Ann Instead. Racing fourth, What Speed Limit. And fifth is Tom's Queen at the three quarters in 1:29. Around the turn, now we know why Tyler Smith is only here to drive the very first race. He's on top and opening up with Speed Be With You for trainer Chris Beaver, now by 7 lengths and getting more. Racing second is My Secret Money. Through the lane they come. What Speed Limit? 2-year-old comes home a winner in. Ooh, it's going to be a speedy one. We'll check with the other timers before we give you the actual time. In the first race, here's your complete order of finish. Number 1, What Speed Limit, 4. The 2, Speed Be With You, the winner. The 3, Poquito, 6. The 4, Tom's Queen, 5. The 5, Ann Instead, 3. The 6, My Secret Money, 2. The quarter, 30 2. The half, 59 1. Three quarters, 129. The mile, 157 2/5.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. First race post time is 5:45. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation July 6th. Thrilling harness racing at El Dorado Scioto Downs. One track, 90 racing days, 100% action. Horse players can earn points with the new Caesars Reward Program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Racing returns May 9th.
They're off and pacing. That's Hold On Tight, going right out for the lead. Adam Hart Mother gets away second on the inside. Getting away third is Dragon Cruise as they race around the turn. Go on to the backside. Tucking in fourth, it's Moonlight Right. Racing fifth, gapped out a bit, is Marty Party 3. And trailing the field, Gordy's Last Chance. 6 two-year-old pacers down the backside, go on to the first quarter mark. Opening quarter in 29-4. Into the turn they go. Dragon Cruise leads by 2 1/4. Right there, second is Hold On Tight. Gapped out third. That's Adam Hart Mother. Racing fourth at the 3/8 mark. It is Moonlight Ride. Racing fifth. Into the stretch, first time. Coming to the halfway point. Marty Party 3. They race over to the halfway station. Halfway home in 58-2. Into the turn, the trailer as they race around the turn, go on to the backside. On top of the field, now opening up a bit now by 2 1/2, make it 3. Cam McGowan, Dragon Cruise racing second. Hold On Tight. Down the backside they go. Adam Hart Mother racing third. Fourth is Moonlight Ride. Racing fifth on the inside, Gordy's Last Chance. 3 quarters in 1:27. Around that final turn, trailing the field as they race about over to the 7/8 mark. And it's Marty Party 3. On top of the field now, it's Hennessy now taking the lead now by about 4 lengths with Hold On Tight. First out of the gate's going to be first to the finish wire. Hold On Tight and Ed Hennessy. Home second was Adam Hart Mother. Third, Dragon Cruise racing fourth, Moonlight Ride. Fifth was Gordy's Last Chance. And the trailer, Marty Party 3. Complete order finish second race. Number 1, Adam Hart Mother, 2. The 2, Gordy's Last Chance, 5. The 3, Hold On Tight, the winner. The 4, Dragon Cruise, 3. The 5, Moonlight Ride, 4. The 6, Marty Party 3, 6. Top down, 2-5-1, 3-4, 6 on the bottom. The quarter, 29-4. The half, 58-2. 3 quarters, 127. The mile, a speedy 155 3/5.
Since 1974, Winterwood Farm has been producing top-of-the-line standardbred racehorses. Captain Kirk, Mission Accepted, and Stockade Sealster continue that tradition. Captain Kirk is the son of Captain Treacherous and took a career mark of 147-4 as a 4-year-old. Mission Accepted, the 2-time Ohio Age Trotter of the Year, has career earnings of over $1.4 million. Stockade Sealster, the 2022 Dan Patch 2-year-old Pacing Colt of the Year, Winterwood Farm, breeding champions for over 50 years.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
Coming up is race number 3, a 2-year-old colt trot. This is kind of the Chris Beaver race, as he has 4 out of the 5 horses in this race. From the rail, Grace's Acre, Clifton Bell will drive for trainer Chris Beaver. Martin Yoder is the owner. This is a Credit Fashion filly out of an Evasive Moves mare, RC Queen Moves. Raced at Paulding, finished 3rd at Paulding, trotted in 2:11-2. Last week at Delaware, trotted in 2:6. Hush Don't Tell put Mickey Holiday up. Again, trainer Chris Beaver. Chris Beaver and Anastasia Meshkova are the owners. This is a lather-up filly out of a Sun Beach Somewhere mare, Scene Crest, Hanover. Raced at right here at Delaware last week, finished third, trotted in 2, 5, and 4. The 3, Suavecito Sol. Chris Beaver will drive. Chris also trains and owns, along with Christopher F. and Christopher F. Beaver and Stephen Z. Handler. This is a muscle-up-the-goal filly out of an Iron Duke mare, Sunrise Nibbles. Did qualify here last week at Delaware, finished second, just back by half a length, and trotted her mile in 2, 4, and 3. Ron Steck drives the 4, I'm on a Jelly Roll. Ron Steck also trains for Chris Hawkins. This is a 2-year-old gelding by Marseille out of Train for the Future mare, I Just Expected. Did qualify here at Delaware last week, but made a break at about the quarter pole and finished distanced. Special Money and Emmanuel Miller from the 5 for trainer Chris Beaver. Chris Beaver, Sparkners from Ballston Spa, New York, and Tim Homan from Mainville, Ohio are the owners. This is a Ready for Money gelding out of a Lucky Chucky mare, Special Invitation. Qualified here at Delaware, finished 4th, back about 14 lengths, and trotted in 2, 7, and 4.
And they're all on the track, and it looks like we're about ready to go to the Mike Wupkenberg starting gate. Last week in the qualifiers, Mike went around one time before the actual start, because it's the first time a lot of them saw the starting gate. But today, and I think it's partially because of the temperature and we want to get done as soon as we can, their starting gate's picking them up, and they will start just like a normal horse race with no schooling whatsoever today.
Every one of these have had some experience behind the gate, so it's a little bit easier for them. And the second come, some of them even a third time. Grace's Acres had 2 starts, started at Paulding and then here at the Delaware qualifier.
Last week the track was a bit sticky, even though it was listed as fast, but today it is ideal conditions for this, as indicated by that second race in 55 and 3.
Yes.
2-year-old trotters in behind the Mike Wupkenberg starting gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. All stride is Hush, Don't Tell. They're off and trotting, going for the lead. Salvito Soul with the lead on the outside. On the inside, that's Grace's Acres racing third as they race into the turn. It's Emmanuel Miller with Special Money. Getting away fourth following a break is I'm on a Jelly Roll. And the trailer also making a break early on was Hush, Don't Tell. 3 of them stay trotting down the backside, going to the first quarter mark. Led by Salvito Soul as they race over to the quarter in 30 4/5 as they race into the turn. But faster fractions this week. On top of the field, Chris Beaver, when he has most of his horses in the race, he wants on the top and control the fractions. And he's leading here with Salvito Soul into the lane first time, leads by about a length and a half. Clifton Bell with Grace's Acres is right there second. Emmanuel Miller is third with Special Money as they race over to the halfway point. Halfway home, 1 minute and 2/5. The tempo is picked up as they race into the turn, going to the 5/8 mark. Racing fourth, I am on a Jelly Roll, and the trailer remains Hush, Don't Tell. On to the backside and the 5/8 mark. So Vita Soul has been there every step, leads now, and it starts to open up for Beaver. Coming to the outside third. Down the backside, that is Hush, Don't Tell. Emmanuel Miller. Beaver has the lead, and I forgot to get the 3/4 time, so we'll have to come up with that one. Beaver has it, Salvita Soul. Coming to the outside, Emmanuel Miller with Special Money. Now second, sticks ahead in front with 1/8 of a mile to go. Grace's Acres is third. Through the lane, drawing away with each and every stride. Special Money and Emmanuel Miller coming home a winner. Home second, Salvita Soul. Racing third was Grace's Acres. Fourth will be I'm on a Jelly Roll. and finishing 5th, and they haven't finished as yet, but coming home last is Hush, Don't Tell. So that's this race, and we'll get the times for you in just a moment. 2-minute trotting mile here today. And
We're not live. We had technical troubles. Yeah.
as maybe disappointed Chris Beaver was last week,
We're going to show him this
he's
afternoon.
mighty happy with
Right now.
this race at least, because his 3 stayed flat and did quite well. Well, the complete order finish officially. Just a moment. Okay. Quarter was 30-4. The half 1 minute and 2. 3/4 1:30. The mile 2 minutes flat. So, number 1, Grace's Acres 3. The 2, Hush Don't Tell 5. The 3, Solvita Soul 2. The 4, I'm on a Jelly Roll 4. The 5, Special Money, the winner. The quarter 30-4. The half 1 minute 2/5. 3/4 1:30. The mile 2 minutes flat. You'll hear some comments you usually don't hear on a broadcast, but David Stats is in the infield. He's our presiding judge, and he's the one that calls us with the results, and we give him the fractions, which were time in here, and 2 assistant timers as well.
Got a nice drop for Special Money. Qualified here last week, right here at Delaware. Made a break at the start. Made a break before the start and after the start, and trotted in 2:7 and 4. And then comes back this week, trots in 2 minutes flat, and made a really nice move coming out of the last turn.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with race number 4 right here at Delaware.
Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
Back here at Delaware, Ohio, usually when we do a live broadcast, we answer any questions you folks may have, but since we're taping this and it'll be played later, we're unable to answer any questions or get any comments from the viewers. So just little internet problems, I guess, today, which is standard fare at a lot of locations.
It is very difficult at some of these fairs. There's something going on with the equipment today, but we hope that
And one thing, last week we had no problem whatsoever, but I know those problems just pop up.
Yeah.
Nothing the OHHA can do about it. We're at the mercy of other sources.
Absolutely. Stephen has been on the phone with Matt trying to figure it all out, but it's just sometimes you just can't.
When we're airing this, you'll probably be in Ottawa.
Yes, I will be in Ottawa by that time. We've got a 3 o'clock post time today up at Ottawa, so we'll be heading up there as soon as we get done, and it looks like we're going to go through them pretty quickly today.
I should mention it was no problem with our broadcast crew because we were all here by, they had everything set up when I got here around 8:15, and Susan gets here around 8:30, and everything was fine. But when we tried to go on the air, no internet.
Yeah, it's just you never know until you get there. You never know until you push those final buttons to get you on what's going to happen. But it is I see on the backside there's a little breeze. We don't have any breeze here up in the grandstand, but at least there's the flag is blowing over there by the log cabin, so at least there is a little bit of a breeze.
And you
for
notice
the horsemen.
there might be a little clouds north of us if you look in the sky, but other than that, you'd say we're at least 99.9% cloudless here at Delaware, Ohio.
Clear blue sky. It's we've got a few people that shipped in, but the majority of the horses are stabled right here or really close. Chris Beaver's got 20 horses in today. And that we should ask him someday how many people it takes to race 20 horses in just a few hours, because that's a lot of people.
He's got 3 or 4 drivers here. He got 3 drivers plus himself, so there's 4 trainers, so to speak. And you'd guess probably a caretaker for every 3 horses or something like that. I know this is normal, though, for Beaver because his farm is just about 10 minutes up the road on Troy Road, but he'll a lot of times go the first trip at the farm, ship all the horses to Delaware to go a final trip here on the half-mile track at Delaware. So they're used to being here at least.
They absolutely no trouble getting in and out of the trailer.
Anybody else that ships here, it might be the first time for their horses at Delaware this season. I know Ed Hennessy, he ships in. I think Roy Thacker ships in. Rosie Weaver ships in. She's got 3 today. So for them, it's their first experience here at Delaware.
Ron Steck's got 14 in today and Brian Brown 10. So the local trainers really have a lot. It's nice that they don't have to go ship any place. We had qualifiers at Scioto yesterday. I believe there was 21 qualifiers yesterday, so they were. And we've noticed today, just in the first few races, that they're going a lot faster today than they did last week.
Yeah.
And they certainly did at Scioto yesterday also.
Like I said earlier, there was no real indication last week because even though the track looked like it was in pretty good shape, it was a little sticky and stuff like that, even though it was listed fast. So today it is just perfect.
Yeah, these are the kind of days that you go fast.
Nobody warming up, but we don't have any horses on the track as yet for the 4th race. So
not A1.
Hopefully we'll get them on the track and move right along here in a few moments.
Of course, Chris Beaver had 4 out of the 5 in the race previous to this, and he's got 2 in this race, so that might take him a little bit of time to get everything switched around. Oh, we see 1 coming out.
Not sure who's coming to the track right now, but it's on the backside.
Good thing Roger's got his binoculars. Mine are sitting in my car. I always forget to bring them with me.
It's Tyler Rush with Baby Beast. First to the track. Clifton Bell is now on the track with... Nope, it's Rosie Weaver. Rosie Weaver, both and Clifton got dark colors. Rosie's got the money, honey. The 5-horse. Chris Beaver coming to the track, and he's supposed to be on keen senses, and that is the case.
Okay. Then we will need a driver for the 1 if Chris is on the 3. Well, we'll go down the list for you. For those of you following along, this is a 2-year-old trot. 10 times harder. We're waiting to see who the driver is. Chris Beaver's the trainer. Chris and Steve Z. Handler and Leo Fleming all own this filly. She's a muscle up the goal of an explosive matter mare. I'm the bomb. Started at Paulding, finished second at Paulding in 2:10 and 2, and here at Delaware last week did make a break right at the finish, but did trot her mile in 2:4 and 3. Belle Lay Star and Trevor Smith for the 2-hole for trainer Norman Robbins. Susan Irene Robbins, the owner of this 2-year-old filly by Marseille out of a Master Glide mare, Sister Star. Qualified here at Delaware last week, finished first, won by 4.5 lengths, and trotted her mile in 2:4 and 4. Keen Senses, Chris Beaver is up. Chris trains for himself and Jay Beaver and Steve Z. Handler. This is a muscle up the goal, another filly out of a Chip Chip Hooray mare, Hooray for Mom. This horse qualified right here, finished distanced, did make a break at the 3/4 pole. Baby Beast and Tyler Rush from the 4 for trainer Ron Steck. Frederick Reed IV is the owner. This is a creatine colt out of a Cincinnati Kid mare. She's a trot and kid. This is this horse's first start. And Got the Money Honey and Rosie Weaver. Rosie trains and co-owns along with Heartland Acres, Cabby D and D Jury. This is a Ready for Money gelding out of a Donato Hanover mare, Ariella. Did race in a qualifier at Northfield, made a break towards the finish, and did trot in 2:14 and 3.
Make the driver on the one horse 10 times harder, Mickey Holiday. Mickey Holiday driving the 1 10 times harder. All horses are on the track, and starter Mike Wolfenberg has called him to the gate for the 4th of a total of 13. This morning, you're seeing it this afternoon.
We had only one of these horses sold at public auction. The rest are all still owned by their breeder. Got the Money Honey was an Ohio selected sale purchase for $42,000 for Rosie Weaver.
Weaver stable, according to her freshman folk, has really branched out in the last 2 or 3 years. For principally when she got started, it was Rosie Weaver and Heartland Acres, but now a lot of additional owners have joined that stable with additional horses. That's why she's up around 45, 50 horses.
You being one of them. You being one of those owners that has horses with Rosie.
Everybody says, what's it like calling your own horse in the race? Well, I'll find out in the 5th race. Horses approaching the gate for the 4th. 2-year-old trotters.
We've got Shelley Johnson here taking pictures, so you can always check her website, see if she caught some candids of your horse.
Two-year-old trotters are moving in behind the Wolfenberg starting gate on the upper turn. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. That's 10 times harder, going out for the lead. Keen Senses up on the outside second. Ballet Star gets away third. Got the Money Honey tucks in fourth. Treading the field fifth as the race around the turn is Baby Beast. All of them staying trotting at the start of this one. Down the backside they go. On top of the field, 10 times harder. Chris Beaver taking the 2-hole trip today in this one with Keen Senses as they race over to the first quarter mark. The end of the turn they go. On top of the field and showing the way by a length and a half. That is 10 times harder.
31.
Racing second. At the 3/8 mark is Keen Senses as they race into the turn. Coming to the halfway station. Racing third, Trevor Smith, Ballet Star, as they race over to the halfway station. Baby Beast is now fourth, and following the break, Got the Money Honey. Straight alignment as they race around the turn, go on to the 5/8 mark. Continuing to show the way, 10 times harder. Chris Beaver tips to the outside to challenge with Keen Senses. Racing third, Ballet Star, fourth. Baby Beast, and the trailer remains Got the Money Honey. The field by the 3/4 mark. Beaver has Keen Senses on top and opening up with each and every stride, now by 3.5. 10 times harder is there second. Racing third, Ballet Star, with 1/8 of a mile to go in Ohio. Keen Senses now by 6. 10 times harder second. Racing third, Ballet Star comes to the outside for Trevor Smith. Coming home, it's all Keen Senses. Ballet Star second. 10 Times Harder third. Coming home fourth was Baby Beast. And fifth, Got the Money Honey. Field of 5 in the fourth. Results are official for the fourth. Number 1, 10 Times Harder 3. The 2, Ballet Star 2. The 3, Keen Senses the winner. The 4, Baby Beast 4. The 5, Got the Money Honey 5. Top down 3, 2, 1, 4, 5 on the bottom. The quarter 31. The half 1 minute 2 fifths. 3/4 1:30 and 3. The mile 2:01.
Nice improvement for Keen Senses from last week. That horse made a break at about the 3/4 pole and finished distance last week. So this one, a real nice effort in 2-1 flat. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be back with race number 5 here at Delaware.
Bell Fountain, the county seat of Logan County, 48 miles northwest of Columbus, is home to Campbell Hill, which at 1,549 feet above sea level is the highest point in Ohio. The name means beautiful spring in French, as the original travelers found lots of springs in the area. With over 56 newly renovated buildings downtown, in 2023, the city of over 14,000 was named one of the best hometowns in Ohio. There are numerous golf courses and camping sites, and it's a perfect starting point for your adventures. Visit Ohio Cabins in nearby Libertyville as you descend 40 feet underground and see stones that glow in the dark. Or take a day at the 5,100-acre Indian Lake. Built in the 1850s and the second largest man-made reservoir in Ohio, is a great time to be had by boating and fishing. In downtown Bell Fountain, it's a short walk, and I do mean a short walk, on McKinley Street, which, at a total of 20 feet, 6.1 meters for you metric chaps, is the shortest street in America. Then stop by Court Avenue, the oldest concrete street in the United States, set in 1891. A quick stroll brings you to a fully restored hall and theater, which has been host to performances since the 1930s. This all comes together at the Logan County Fair, which runs from July 7th to July 12th, and be sure to catch the thrills and excitement of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference stake races on Monday, July 7th and Tuesday, July 8th. Host time at 6 p.m. It's all Bella Bella and Bell Fountain.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug winner Luz Pearlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
Back here at Delaware, Ohio. Warm-up horses on the track. 5th race coming up is for 2-year-old trotters. Only have 3 going to the post here, as the 1, Max the Mighty, and the 3, Victory's Gunner, have been scratched. So 1 and 3 are out. That leaves 3 horses to go postward here in the 5th race. The 2 horse is Olive Hill, owned by Chris Easterday. Carl Easterday Jr. is the trainer. They hail from Bucyrus, one of the ship-ins today. Cam McGowan gets the call to drive. This is a 2-year-old gelding by What the Hill out of Lady Lois by Conway Hall. Raced at Paulding at the county fair. Made a break leaving and raced 5th throughout the mile distance. That race went in 2:7 and 4, but that means distance at least 25 lengths beaten, so another 5 seconds. Trotted somewhere around 2:13. The 3 horses scratched. The 4, OK One More, Chris Beaver of Radnor, Tim Homan of Mainville, who is here today watching the races, and Leo Fleming of Ontario, Canada, and Bill Maines of Ontario are the owners. Beaver is the trainer-driver. This 2-year-old gelding is by Triumphant Caviar out of Centerfold Lady by Credit Winner. Last week here at Delaware, had post 3, got away second to the quarter in 34-1, but made a break coming to the half in 104-3. The break continued to the 3 quarters in 136-3, finished 4th distance. The race went in 2:06, so the fastest possible time would be 2:11 for OK One More last week. The 5 is Eckert Hill Brady, Rosie Weaver, yours truly, and Cabby Stable. That's Dan Wilson, by the way, the former vet at Northfield Park until his retirement a few years back. This 2-year-old gelding by In Range out of Carry the Torch by Muscle Mass. Qualified at Northfield on June the 12th. From post 3, Justin Irvine was the driver. Cut it out, the quarter 33-1, the half 105-4, the 3 quarters 136-2. The race went in 2:06-1, and Eckert Hill Brady got beat a neck with a final quarter 29-4 by Tom Largo. So that's field in the 5th race. The 2-horse, Olive Hill, is a homebred, and so is, well, that's it. Purchased at the Ohio Select Sale was OK One More for $45,000, and Eckert Hill Brady was a $24,000 purchase at the Buckeye Classic Sale.
We see these horses going faster than they went last week, and at Scioto yesterday they were going fast, but these babies got some big dances coming up really soon. July 5th, we've got the Next Generation. July 10th, the Buckeye Stallion Series starts for the 2-year-olds, and July 12th, the Ohio Sire Stakes start for the 2-year-olds. So they need to be ready. Nice to have a couple chances to qualify here.
A lot of the horses, even you see qualifying today, will probably get one more qualifier in them before, unless they're going maybe to the Next Generation. But most of these 2-year-olds have another qualifier before they actual probably race at a county fair. Well, some of them will go right to the county fairs, I'm sure.
Right.
And others will qualify again down at Scioto Downs. You don't realize how many 2-year-olds are involved in harness racing. You don't have the total figure, but when you see Scioto with 21, and last week we had 18 races. This week we got 13. Yep. I think the Meadows has been having something like 17 to 20 2-year-old qualifiers there. But and I'm sure that's the case at the Meadowlands, Gateway, you name it.
Yeah. And we've got fairs going besides, so we've got a lot of those 2-year-olds that are at the fair. So it's
now
a lot.
Things were a bit different in the olden days, as I like to call them. And I always go back to the story of the Ponderosa. Turned out to be a great stallion and such. His first start was the 2nd week of August.
Oh.
In a 2-year-old colt pace at the Meadows during Adios week, when it was the 2nd week of August. And that was the old days. But now it seems like everybody gets qualified and gets to the races the 1st of July. Times are changing.
Yeah.
You know, that might be a good name for a horse. Times are changing.
That it would be.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't he win the jug? Yeah, somebody asked me the other day how harness racing's changed since I started in 1960. Well, let's put it this way. Drivers are now wearing white pants. They have wheel disc on the sulkies. Drivers all are required to wear a helmet.
Helmets are much improved.
Yeah.
over what they were
Yeah.
back then.
Very few hub rails.
Yep.
One hub rail. I know a couple county fairs in Pennsylvania still have a hub rail. And I never will forget the first trip I made to Fredericton, New Brunswick, to call races up in Canada. They were so happy. They came to me and said, "We've got rid of the hub rail." Guess what? They left the wooden post
Oh,
that held the hub rail.
ooh, that's worse.
Oh, that's a story I've probably told 1,000 times.
Wow.
But, that was in the early days, you know.
Yeah. That has been such a great safety improvement to get rid of that hub rail.
The announcer at Fredericton was a funeral director.
Oh,
He
no.
buried people in the day and called races at night. Well, let's see who's on the track and see if our drivers all match up here. Cam McGowan is on the 2, Olive Hill. Chris Beaver's on the 4, OK One More. And Rosie Weaver is just coming to the track with some horse by the name of Eckert Hill Brady.
It is an unusual name. Does the Eckert have...
Who was the breeder on this horse?
Marlon Miller.
And I think he names all of his horse
Eckert something.
This will be only the second time that I've seen live action by Eckert Hill Brady.
Oh.
He won his matinee race down at Aiken, and today's only the second time I've seen him live. And I've told many people he's just a beautiful horse. I just hope he can trot as well.
Yeah.
I asked Rosie today how fast he had actually trained, and I think she said somewhere between 2.3 and 2.4 on her farm track at Glory Meadows. They qualified in 6 and 1. Said that they went to the half so slow. Justin got down to the half in 2.5?
Yeah.
1:05. So he almost fell asleep. The horse did.
Oh.
So don't know what to expect here today, but track is clear, and they'll be going to the starting gate.
We're scratched down to just that field of 3. This will be if nobody else scratches, this will be the shortest race of the day, shortest field. Mike Webkenberg's calling them to the gate. Deb Rush down over in the judges' stand doing the charting. David Statz presiding judge, and Doug Guthrie's in there doing a little judging today too. He's going to be, his first presiding judge duties will be at Marion this year. So
they just completed the judges' school, I guess, at Scioto Downs last week.
This week.
Oh, it's this week.
Yep, it's going on this week.
I know I saw a picture on Facebook or something.
Yeah, so those guys are getting their accreditation.
Two-year-old trotters all moving in behind the Mike Wopkenberg starting gate on the upper turn. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting, going for the lead. As they race out of the gate, OK One More. Up on the outside, Eckert Hill Brady. Racing third into the turn is Olive Hill. All get away trotting to the first 8th. On top of the field, OK One More. Chris Beaver cutting it out by a length and 3/4. Eckert Hill Brady is in the 2-hole. And trailing the field third is Olive Hill as they race down the backside, go on to the first quarter mark. Opening quarter in 32 and 1. Into the turn they go. Okay, one more has the lead by 2 1/4. Eckerd Hill Brady trots second, racing third. Olive Hill coming to the 3/8 mark. Into the lane first time, on top. Okay, one more. Brings him into the stretch by 3. Eckerd Hill Brady is there second. Racing third, Olive Hill, as they race over to the halfway station. They're halfway home in 1:02 2. Into the turn they go. The tempo's picking up. Okay, one more has the lead. Eckerd Hill Brady is there second. Racing third, gapping out a bit more, is Olive Hill. To the backside they go. Okay, one more. Eckerd Hill Brady trying to close the gap second. Racing third, Olive Hill down the backside to the 3/4 station. They race over to the 3/4 in 1:32 3. Into the final turn. The leader. Okay, one more. Racing second, Eckerd Hill Brady. Racing third, Olive Hill. 1/8 of a mile to go in Ohio, and Eckerd Hill Brady comes to the outside. Okay, one more has the lead. Eckerd Hill Brady is there second. Coming home, it's all okay. One more. Eckerd Hill Brady closing on the outside second. Home third, Olive Hill. And I'm happy with my mile. And as the case, even though they got to the 3/4, or it wasn't 32 and something, they came home better than 30 seconds.
We got 2 1 and 2 and 2.
Scratch 3, scratch 1, 2, 32 and 1. So results are official. The 1 was scratched. The 2 Olive Hill 3. The 3 was scratched. The 4 OK one more the winner. The 5 Eckerd Hill Brady second. The quarter 32 and 1. The half 102 2. 3/4 132 3. The mile 201 3/5. And I'm sure Rosie Weaver is quite happy, and I know for one Roger Houston is quite happy.
That was a very nice mile. They came home, scooted home nicely, so very good mile for these babies.
I'm anxious to talk to Rosie because she was kind of gapped out, you know, and I think, I don't know, maybe that was intentional. I don't know. But it did come home and closed, got beat, about a half a length?
Yeah, if that.
Half
Wasn't
or
much.
3/4 or something like that.
Really a very nice mile. So 6th race coming up. We do not have any driver changes or scratches that we know of, so we'll go as programmed. As always, if you are watching this on a tape delay, which you're going to be, you'll be able to still get your programs at harnessracingohio.com. So let's take a short break, and then we will be back with race number 6.
Midland Acres is proud to stand the prominent stallions, TCI, Long Tom, Ready for Money, Monty Mickey, Summa Cum Laude, and Bit of a Legend. With such great pedigree and speed in the stallion barn, Midland Acres will provide a diverse group of top yearlings in the sale ring for 2025. Visit us this fall at our consignments at the Blooded Horse Sale on August 26th, the Ohio Select Jug Sale on September 12th, and the Lexington Select Sale on September 29th through October 3rd. Let Midland Acres experience in the industry lead you to the winner's circle.
Make summer memories this year at the Ohio County Fairs. The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be live streaming every race this year, and we want you to be there. Be a part of the excitement with the 2025 Ohio County Fair Racing Passport. Stop by the OHHA broadcast location in the grandstand to pick up your passport and stamp. Get stamps at every fair you attend. Prizes will be awarded to those that attend the most racing programs. Get your passport at the first fair you attend or call the OHHA office at 614-221-3650. Harness Racing, the fastest ride at the fair.
Home in 58-3. So I'm even happier.
Yes. And still look strong at the end. That was what was nice to see.
And it really, I mean, I'm not a trainer anymore, but I think that's the kind of a mile trainers like, you know, when they got that finishing kick.
Yeah.
I know the one story that they always told about Chip Noble, whether it was a qualifier or an actual race or something, his horses were always live in the stretch coming home.
Yeah.
You never saw a Chip Noble horse back through the field in the stretch, you know. And so that's the ideal thing that trainers want.
Absolutely. I mean, they don't pay at the half, right?
We do have 2 horses here listed as Tyler Rush, so we'll have to check drivers on those 2 horses. Kevin Wolf is driving Thunder Nation. Looks like Beaver's horses are warming up for an upcoming race. Tyler Rush is coming to the track. We'll see the number. Number 1 is Tyler Rush. So we need a driver on the 5 horse.
I can turn off my hotspot, right?
So we got 2 out, 4 to go. This is 2-year-old Pacers.
Quite a few horses warming up here. It's nice here because they have that jog track in the back, and we can look across the track and look on either side of the log cabin and see horses jogging back there. So everybody can keep training, keep jogging their horses, even though this is going on.
Yeah. Not every horse on the fairgrounds is qualifying today. So the trainers that just have horses here using that backtrack today. And I think they were probably requested to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Can't say enough about Jennifer Brown.
Oh, gosh.
Puts this whole show together, believe me.
Yeah, it's a lot to do. So let's take a closer look at the horses in this race number 6 for 2-year-old Pacers. Ruby Vuitton. Tyler Rush is scheduled to drive for Ron Steck and Gary Condit. This is a filly by Cattle Wash out of a Western Ideal mare Authorized. Did qualify last week here and finished 3rd, back by about 6 lengths in 2-1 and 4. Liberty Bibberty, Cam McCowan up for Jessica McCowan. Here's the stock. Sean Harville and Scott Davies all own this Summa Cum Laude filly. She's out of a Rock and Roll Hanover mare, America Rocks. Qualified here at Delaware, finished 2nd last week, back by 5.5 lengths. Paced her mile in 2-2 and 2, but came home in 27 and 4. So that was a really nice mile for Liberty Bibberty. Same Girl Same and Bo Brown from the 3-hole for Brian Brown and Jennifer Brown. This is a Catch the Fire filly out of a Rockin' Image mare, Cax Little Sis. Sold at the Ohio Selected Sale for $19,000. This is Same Girl Same's first start. Thunder Nation and Kevin Wolf from the 4. Kevin also trains and owns. This is a Western Vintage Gelding out of an Arts Place mare, All-American Nation. First lifetime start, purchase at the Buckeye Classic Sale for $6,000. Bethany Beach from the 5. Tyler Rush is also programmed to drive this one, so we'll see who he chooses between the 1 and the 5.
Curtis Harper's driving the 5.
Okay. Curtis Harper. This horse is trained by Ron Steck, owned by Bootville Stables and Ronald Steck. It is a down by the seaside filly out of an American Ideal mare, Clear Idea. Purchased at the Lexington Selected Sale for $50,000. This is Bethany Beach's first start. And Mr. Smarty Pants, trained by Brian Brown, driven by Ronnie Wren, owned by Lehman, Keith, Stambaugh, and Calvert. This is a summa cum laude gelding out of a Roll with Joe mare, Roll Up the Rim. Started here at Delaware last week, finished second, back by 4 lengths, paced his mile in 1:59.1, came home in 27:3.
And today, Ronnie Wren Jr. makes a trip down from northern part of the state to drive qualifiers. And if you're not aware, and I think most people in harness racing are aware, Ronnie Wren Jr. won the North American Cup for $1 million, driving a horse for the Berg stable, the horse that is the #1 horse in all of harness racing, according to the first poll that was released last week, Blueprint. This is Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes.
I forgot I haven't voted for this week yet.
Oh.
Which happens quite frequently.
Yeah, when you're on the road as much as you are, it's probably hard to keep up. You vote once a week or once every 2 weeks?
Yeah, every Monday or Tuesday, and then they're published Wednesday.
Okay.
35 individuals across North America, and if I don't get my vote in today, they go with my ballot from last week. And I would probably make a couple changes, but not on top, because I'm of the opinion Blueprint, I did not vote #1, but I did vote the horse of the year last year until she gets beat this year, and she's undefeated this year. Once she gets beat, then I'll consider.
You'll think about it then.
Think about it, but
Yeah.
I think she deserves being #1 this year until she shows a miscue or something. Of course, Chris Ryder's hoping he doesn't have a miscue.
Yeah. So how are those people, those 35 people, how do you get that job?
Ken Weingartner of the USTA and everything, he assembled the group.
Okay.
I would say of the 35, probably 20 of us have been on the panel for, 20 years.
Oh, gosh.
Jay Wolf here at Delaware is also on that panel. I really do not know any of the other people that vote.
Oh.
I have not seen a full list or anything like that. But I know Jay's on the list. He voted Blueprint #1. So we had a slight disagreement. But we did agree in last week's poll on 6 of the top 10. So the first poll that comes out, it's a wide range of horses, and then it kind of settles down in the second, third, and fourth weeks. Because you got, in that first poll, you got horses coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we got 5 out. And I cannot believe either a horse just came on the track to warm up or they forgot the saddle pad.
Oh.
I'm not sure which is which. But somebody, here I'm getting it from
Dave. So Roger's he's talking to David Stats, the presiding judge. So it looks like Liberty Bibberty does not have a saddle pad.
The 2 horse does not have a saddle pad.
Okay. The rest of them are bright yellow saddle pads,
Now,
so it's
at
easy
the
to tell.
county fairs, that'd be about a $50 fine.
Yes.
Somebody in the barn area has a 2 yellow.
Yep.
And therefore, Jessica McCowan unable to get the 2 yellow, as somebody else has got it. More than likely, with 13 races, some of the pads have to be returned.
Yes.
And possibly somebody in a later race that shouldn't have had a saddle pad picked up the 2 yellow. So if we get to a later race and we have a 2 yellow, we'll know who the culprit is.
So Mike Webkenberg is opening the wings, and the horses are gathering up behind the starting gate. From the rail out, we got Ruby Vuitton, Liberty Bibberty, Same Girl Same, Thunder Nation, Bethany Beach, and Mr. Smarty Pants. The only driver change we have is on the 5. Bethany Beach will now be driven by Curtis Harper.
And keep your eye on the 6 horse with Ronnie Wren Jr. because made the trip. Ronnie's driving early in the card, but not later in the card. So he's down here for a special reason, and this is one of the horses out of the Brian Brown stable. They're all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Liberty Bibberty going right out for the lead. Up on the outside, it's Same Girl Same. Racing 4 wide into the turn, Ronnie Wren Jr. with Mr. Smarty Pants. Now third, now second, and going right on to the top. Mr. Smarty Pants and Ronnie Wren Jr. to take the lead. Readily given away, Liberty Bibberty as they race down the backside. Racing third is Same Girl Same as they race over to the first quarter in 30 1/5. Into the turn, Tyler Rush sits fourth with Ruby Vuitton as they race around the turn. Gapped out fifth is Thunder Nation. And trailing the field, coming to the outside, Curtis Harper makes a move with Bethany Beach. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Mr. Smarty Pants shows the way by a length and 3/4 as they race over to the halfway point. Halfway home, the tempo has really picked up. 58 3. Liberty Bibberty is there second. Then we have a gap of almost 10 lengths to Same Girl Same. Tyler Rush comes to the outside with Ruby Vuitton, now fourth. Racing fifth, Thunder Nation coming to the outside from way back. Curtis Harper, Bethany Beach. We got 2 different races going on here in the 6th. They race the 3/4 in 1:28. And Mr. Smarty Pants opens up now by 4. Liberty Bibberty is there second. Racing third, Ruby Vuitton. Fourth is Same Girl Same. 1/8 of a mile to go. Into the stretch they come. Mr. Smarty Pants and Ronnie Wren Jr. A hand drive all the way. Never once lifted the whip. Home second was Liberty Bibberty. Ruby Vuitton third. Same Girl Same fourth. Thunder Nation fifth. And the trailer, Bethany Beach. And as thought, we know why Ronnie Wren was here. This is one of them that Brian Brown wanted him to drive. And I didn't see him ever lift the whip on this one. Not as fast as that earlier qualifier, but still speedy. What you got?
Roger's getting it.
4, 5, 6, 1, 30 in the 5th, 58 3. 128, 157, 1. Thank you. Results are official. The 1, Ruby Vuitton, 3. The 2, Liberty Bibberty, 2. The 3, Same Girl Same, 4. The 4, Thunder Nation, 5. The 5, Bethany Beach, 6. The 6, Mr. Smarty Pants, the winner. Top down, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 and a fifth. Half, 58 and 3. 3 quarters, 128. The mile, 157, 1/5. Final half, well, identical halves. 58 and 3. Final quarter, 29 and 1. Note the first quarter a bit slower than the others, 30 and a fifth, and that was because Ronnie Wren didn't leave full throttle and finally made it to the lead, but whoever was on top going to the quarter was not going a real fast clip.
Yeah, there are 4 of them left out of there. I mean, they were 4 wide first going into that turn, so Ronnie definitely wanted the top. 7th race coming up will be a 2-year-old colt, 2-year-old trot. We've got 4 fillies and 1 colt in it. So we're going to take a look at these horses as soon as we come back.
The Ohio equine industry needs your help. I'm Scott Mogan, president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. With over 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. That means jobs that pump millions of dollars into the local economy and support thousands of families. For Ohio's equine industry to remain strong, we need to send a clear message to our legislators about the important role that the agricultural small businesses play in Ohio's economy. To do that, we need your help. PACER, the Political Action Committee for Equine Racing, helps support and inform on issues that could positively affect Ohio harness racing. Please consider a donation to PACER. To donate, visit our website at ohha.com or call 614-221-3650. Your donation will help keep harness racing strong in Ohio. Thank you for your support.
Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
Back here at Delaware, Ohio.
Great day here at Delaware. Prime for fast miles today, isn't it? With the high humidity and no breeze to speak of. Always seems like they go faster then.
It seems like you mentioned earlier we're not having a breeze here, but I feel a little breeze developing a little.
Just a little bit.
I mean, it is little. Little.
Yeah.
I know this morning it was ideal, but the temperature-wise, but I'm sure we're probably in the upper 80s right now.
I'll bet so. Should check. We don't have as many people in the grandstand as we did last week.
No, but we've been invaded by the dogs.
Yes.
I noticed there are a couple, 3 people come over here for a particular race, and then they leave and go back to the barn area or something like that. So
It's only 86 here today.
86,
so, yeah,
wow.
That's not bad at all. Feels like 92. So it's a nice day. We're supposed to cool off a little bit in the week. We're supposed to get some rain the rest of the week. So rain on and off. That'll cool things down a little bit.
What's the weather forecast up at Ottawa?
Let me look.
Yeah, Dave. Thank you.
Ottawa, it is now 86
Ooh.
and sunny, so it'll be.
In this 7th race coming up, the 5, Capture the Photo, make the driver Mickey Holiday. Mickey Holiday drives the 5, Capture the Photo. Another horse out of the Chris Beaver stable, as we've got 2-year-old trotters in this 7th race.
As we said earlier, Chris has 20 horses in today. Oh, did have one scratch, so down to 19. That's a lot of horses to take care of. Ron Steck's got 14. Brian Brown's got 10. So everybody's that's right around Delaware's got a lot. So we got quite a few of the horses on the track. We'll go down this field. Range the Wish and Clifton Bell from the rail for Chris Beaver. This horse is owned by Beaver, Yoder, VIP Internet, and Bucky. This is a in-range filly out of a cadaver mare. I Am Spike's Wish. Finished third last week in this qualifier in 2, 2, and 4. Faster Horses. Chris Beaver up. Chris trains for Beaver, Acosta, Z-Handler, and Fleming. Another filly, this one by Muscle Up the Goal out of a Swan Frau mare, Fantasia Flurry. Qualified here last week, finished second, just back by a length and a quarter, and trotted in 2, 3, and 1. The Taxman, Cam McCowan up for Carl Easterday Jr. Chris Easterday, the owner of this Marseille gelding, out of a His Highness mare, Emotional Blast. Horse was purchased at the Blooded Horse Sale for $5,000. Started at Paulding and did make a break at the quarter and the half and finished back. Kira and Emmanuel Miller from the 4-hole for trainer Chris Beaver. Sandra Burnett and Chris Beaver own this filly. She's an Enterprise out of a Triumphant Caviar mare. Kiki Mora. She raced right here at Delaware last week, won by 1 length, trotted in 2, 2, and 1. Last quarter in 29 seconds flat. And Capture the Photo, a $17,000 purchase at the Buckeye Classic sale. Chris Beaver trains, also owns along with Joseph Spadero and Martin Yoder. This is a Uncle Peter filly out of a Broadway Hall mare, Broadway Photo. Purchase at the Buckeye Classic sale for $17,000. Mickey Holiday will drive today. This horse qualified right here, won qualifier last week by 9 3/4 lengths and trotted in 2, 4 flat, coming home in 29 and 1.
The 4 Chris Beaver horses are on the track, and I believe we're waiting on the Taxman. Cam McGowan for trainer Carl Easterday Jr. I think I may have overscheduled myself for today, as I was scheduled to record some commercials for the Delaware County Fair Board at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And I've got what did I say, 38-minute drive? Mm-hmm. So I don't think I'm going to make 1 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's it's 10:37 right now. We're on race 7. We were zipping along there for the first few, and then slowed down a bit.
Here's a major delay as we're waiting on one horse.
Yeah.
And I see nobody in the barn area or anything.
No, nobody coming out. Well, there's a horse walking over there. That might be.
You know, I think that's the horse for this race, but I don't see any race bike or Cam McGowan. So that is the reason for the delay. We've got the horse.
Got the horse, looks
but
like.
Where is Cam McGowan?
Where in the world? He did have a horse in the last race, so he might have get that one back to the barn and get over here.
I think I'll call Cam this afternoon and say, Cam, you caused me to miss a recording session.
I'll bet they'll wait for you, Roger.
No, I don't know. Sure. These radio stations that have recording studios, they have them scheduled for people. So I don't know what the leeway is on the 1 o'clock, but I got a backup plan. I told them if it doesn't work, I'll see you July 1st.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be my next trip back to the Buckeye State. To do taping of a Freshman Focus. With, you guess, is he your son-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Jason Ross. Talk about the next generation and the new Paddock.
Oh, it's such a nice paddock. It's just so nice.
I got to ask this, and has any horseman complained about anything about the new paddock?
I heard a couple people early say that it's so long. It's such a long ways. But then when you tell them, but it's not as far as when you used to walk from the barns and up the hill.
Yeah.
So
when they ship in, they go right to the paddock?
Right to the paddock, yeah. So it's,
well, that's good.
I mean, it's really nice. It truly was made for horsemen.
Yeah.
They've got these huge fans.
Now, is it a 16 race
16
paddock?
races, yeah.
So they got room for 160 horses?
Yes.
Woo!
And the
because,
test barn is really nice.
Vast majority of races at Scioto are 10-horse fields.
Yes, yep. Yeah, it's a very, very large paddock and very well designed.
Yeah.
Thought about the drivers. They've got a place where if it's really muddy, they don't have to actually go into the locker room. They've got a place right outside where they can just spray themselves off, clean up a little bit before the next one.
Announcer's
yes, yes. So that
because
you can see who's red and white.
Sometimes these drivers racing on an off track get so much mud and stuff on their silks that they're hard even to identify them.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a place right there where it's got, I don't know, it's got 2 or 3 showers with a hand shower so you can take it off and you can really get your colors cleaned up in between races.
Have the drivers taken advantage of it?
I don't know. It looks pretty clean every time I go by there, but I don't know. That's just because they clean it up. I know one thing.
Drivers usually do not wash their face once the races start because of the limestone and things that are on the racetrack. If you do that, you're going to have a raw face.
Yeah.
It's not like a mud pack that women get.
No, it's not. It's scratchy and awful. It comes out of your eyes for days, doesn't it?
Horses going to the gate in our 7th of 13. Trotters are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting, going for the lead. That's Range of the Wish on the inside. Up on the outside, Kira in between horses and taking a seat. That is Faster Horses, now third. Getting away fourth. The end of the turn is Capture the Photo, and trailing the field, the Taxman. Down the backside, go on to the first quarter mark, all in straight alignment. On top of the field and showing the way, it's Kira and Emmanuel Miller as they race over to the first quarter mark. Opening quarter in 30 1/5. End of the turn, racing second. That's Range the Wish as they race around the turn third. Faster Horses racing fourth. That is Capture the Photo. The 4 Beaver Horses, 1, 2, 3, 4, making a break and trailing the Taxman. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Kira leads the way for Emmanuel Miller. Clifton Bell right there second with Range over to the half in 1 minute, 2/5. Identical 30-1 panels early on. To the backside they go. Kira by a length and a quarter. Close up second, Range the Wish. Racing third. Faster Horses trotting fourth. Capture the Photo. Way back, the Taxman following that early break. 3 quarters, 1:30 3/5. Another 30 1/5 panel. Pull in the pocket. Here comes Clifton Bell. Range of the Wish on the outside to grab the lead. Kira is there second. Coming to the outside third. Faster Horses. Less than an 8 to go. It's Range of the Wish on the outside with the lead and drawing away. Faster Horses is there second. Home third. Kira fourth. Capture the Photo. And soon to finish, the 3, the Taxman, will be fifth. Now, if they come home Right on, 59-2. Range the Wish by In Range out of I Am Spike's Wish.
Finished third last week in his qualifier, trotted in 2, 2, and 4, and this week 59-2 coming off the pace. Pulled out around that last turn and just kind of went right on.
130-3, 159-2. Results are official. Number 1, Range the Wish, the winner. The 2, Faster Horses, 2. The 3, The Taxman, 5. The 4, Kira, 3. The 5, Capture the Photo, 4. The quarter, 30 1/5. The half, 1 minute 2/5. 3/4, 1:30 3. The final time, 1:59 2/5. Coming home in 28 4. Emmanuel Miller cutting it out. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but he was going a steady trot of 30-1.
Absolutely.
Each panel.
Yeah, if he was told to go a 30-second quarter, he was pretty doggone close each one.
More than likely, that is what Chris Beaver said.
Yeah.
Normally we want Beaver on top, but he wanted to race this one out of the pocket.
So race number 8 coming up. Pacing race. We've got one driver change that we know about. Pomp and Circumstance will be driven by Roy Thacker. That is the only change that we know. We will be getting another driver on either the 4 or 5 because Tyler Rush is down on both of those. So we'll get you those changes and take a closer look at these horses right after this commercial break.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug Winner Luz Pearlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
Who feeds your need for new ideas for your family's best farm future? Ohio Farm Bureau. We work with our members to shape ag policy that will positively impact our industry. Farm Bureau is advancing business solutions to give you a competitive advantage. We help you gather information to stay ahead of important topics and technologies. Plus, Ohio Farm Bureau creates opportunities for growth. Ohio Farm Bureau, feeding your need for new ideas.
Okay, we are back here at Delaware. We're a little more than halfway through the program. We've just got 13 today. We've got, let's see, it looks like 11 of them are just 2-year-olds, and then we've got a 3-year-old and up trot and a 2-year-old and up pace at the last one. So we'll have a few older horses to look at. Nice to watch all these babies, though. It's cool that we got to see them last week and now how they're improving this week.
Yeah.
And some of them are improving a lot. I mean, they're dropping 5 seconds.
That also speaks for the training leading up to the horses getting to the race. They don't want to drop them too much each start. 3 seconds or something like that maybe, but we've seen some this week going 5-6 seconds faster.
Yeah.
Because we're getting to the nitty-gritty.
We are.
It's amazing. The next generation is that quick.
I know.
Oh.
It seems like it was so long ago. People are still making up their minds what horses to put in. I think that's probably a last-minute decision with a lot of trainers.
At one time, I contacted Mickey Burke, and I says, who are your horses for the next generation? And this was like 2 or 3 days before they enter. he says, Roger, I'm being honest with you. We're going to train them tomorrow and make the call.
Make the call. Wow.
Because like they had 3 2-year-old pacing colts eligible for one spot or something like that. So a lot of trainers wait till that last minute. And then you have other trainers that have a spot and put it on Facebook or contact Jason and say, hey, I got a spot. Somebody wants to pick them up. And people pick them up right at the last minute. And I should say also, when they pick up that spot at the end, a lot of trainers say, well, what is it, $10,000? I
think so,
at the end. I'll take $10,000 plus 10%.
Oh, okay.
I know those deals are made because
wow.
I go back a couple of years where the guy that wants to get in the race really wants to get in there.
So he'll do that. Yeah, that's it's kind of a nice system. You know, there's a little wheeling and dealing, and
we've talked to Jason every year, it seems like, with Freshman Focus to wrap that series up. And each year he changes the conditions to some degree. And one of these years we're going to get to that point where he says, no, this is it. We're going to stick to it.
Well, that's a new way of doing things, so they just got to figure out what works the best. And what works one year may not work the next, so it's just always a in progress. Looks like we may be getting a driver change from the presiding judge.
Number 4.
Okay.
Can I drop my ink pen?
Again, Roger, I don't see it down there. You must be sitting on it this time. You need a new pen?
Well, last week when we did these qualifiers, after the race is over, it's underneath your chair.
Oh, it's under mine. Okay.
Could you get, no.
I can get it. His pen fell under. There we go. Last week you had 4 errant pens, didn't you?
4 pens. Well, see, these chairs we got, I got the phone, I got Hall's eucalyptus, I got the stopwatch and the ink pen.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get too loaded.
Okay,
Who
let's
did I say, Curtis Harper on which one?
On the 4, you said.
On the 4.
Okay, we'll take a closer look at these horses. The 1, Apex Blue Chip, Ronnie Wren drives for trainer Brian Brown. Country Club Acres, Hutchinson Harness, Wingfield Brothers, and Never Too Late Stable all own this Down by the Seaside Colts. Out of a Roll with Joe mare, Obvious Blue Chip. This colt was sold for $110,000 at the Standardbred Horse Sale in Harrisburg last fall. Qualified last week right here at Delaware. Won his qualifier by 2 lengths in 2 minutes flat. Came last quarter in 27-4. Hellacious Hill, Darren Dowler up. Darren also trains and co-owns this horse along with Lawrence Bettler. This is a Racing Hill colt out of a Feeling Frisky mare, Extreme Prejudice. Purchased at the Buckeye Classic sale for $27,000. Raced right here in the Delaware qualifier. Finished 4th last week. Paces mile in 2-1-2, coming home 29-1. Pop and Circumstance put Roy Thacker up for trainer Brian Brown. VIP Internet Stable, William Johnson, and Cedar Point Beach Racing, and D. Wozniak all own this Summa Cum Laude colt. It's out of an American Ideal, American Myth. Purchased at the Ohio Selected Sale for $16,000. This is Pomp and Circumstance, first lifetime start. The 4, Seaside Angel, Curtis Harper will drive for trainer Ron Steck. Bootville Stable and Ronald Steck own this filly by Down by the Seaside. She's out of a Rock and Roll Heaven mare, Band of Angels. Purchased at the Lexington Selected Sale for $45,000. Finished 3rd here in her qualifier last week. Pacer mile in 2-3-4. Came home in 28-4. Sonny's in the Sea. Tyler Rush up for Ron Steck. This is a Down by the Seaside gelding out of the Bomb Dottie, who's by Western Terror. Bootville Stables, Ronald Steck and Jeffrey Breeze all own this colt. sold at the Lexington selected sale for $40,000. This horse raced here at Delaware last week, finished third, back by 2 1/4 lengths, paced mile in 2 minutes and 2/5, and came home in 27 4. And from the 6, here's Ledger. Cam McCowan up for trainer Jessica McCowan. Here's the stock, and Jessica McCowan owned this bit of a legend colt, gelding, I should say. It's out of a coast-to-coast Yankee mare, Elm Grove in a Rush. Sold at the Ohio selected sale for $18,000. Horse qualified here at Delaware last week. Won his qualifier by 6 3/4 length, paced mile in 58 4, and came home in 27 4. Looks like they are all out. Mike Webkenberg gate is in motion. This is the time of year when Mike gets extremely busy. He's got crews going all different places.
We had one horse training, so now
okay,
they're all headed to the starting gate.
So 2 driver changes. Roy Thacker is driving the 3, Pomp and Circumstance, and Curtis Harper will drive the 4, Seaside Angel.
It's no longer 86 degrees.
It's warmer?
It's warmer. And that little breeze has disappeared.
It has.
They're all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. That Seaside Angel going right out for the lead. Apex Blue Chip on the inside second. In between horses, Hellacious Hill as they race around the turn. Here's Ledger, now third, now second. Cam McGowan going to the top on the outside. That is Pomp and Circumstance. Down the backside, going to the first quarter mark. They're over to the first quarter in 30 1/5. Trailing the field sixth as they race by the opening quarter. That is Tyler Rush with Sunny in the Sea. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. On top of the field and showing the way. Here's Ledger and Cam McGowan. Going to bring them over to the half in 58 4. Tempo has really picked up. Curtis Harper right there second with Seaside Angel. Ronnie Wren Jr., Apex Blue Chip. As they race into the turn, Wren tips to the outside to begin the long chase. Darren Dowler is out and following the cover with Hellacious Hill. Down the backside they go. Up the inside comes Sunny in the Sea. Treading the field. Pomp and Circumstance at the 3/4 mark in 1:28. And the tempo is really picking up now as he's opened up by about a length and a half. Has the lead. Here's Ledger and Cam McGowan tipping to the outside. Apex Blue Chip and Ronnie Wren Jr. and the battle's on. Into the stretch they come. On the inside, here's Ledger. On the outside, Apex Blue Chip. Apex Blue Chip drawn away. Tight photo for second and third. The 3-horse, Pomp and Circumstance, was fourth. Fifth was Hellacious Hill. And the trailer was Seaside Angel. And another sub 2-minute performance. 2-year-old pacers. No ways near the fastest of the day, but still sub 2 minutes. Quarter.
30 and 1.
How much?
30 and 1.
Results are official. The 1, Apex Blue Chip, the winner. The 2, Hellacious Hill, 5. The 3, Pomp and Circumstance, 4. The 4, Seaside Angels, 6. The 5, Sunny's in the Sea, 2. The 6, Here's Ledger, 3. Top down, 154, 623 on the bottom. The quarter, 30-1. The half, 58-4. 3/4, 128. The mile, 157, 3/5.
So Apex Blue Chip, another nice drop. Qualified last week, won his qualifier in 2 minutes flat. Oh, keys, sorry. Passing keys around here.
We're passing keys and everything around.
So one last
it's a
week
good
in
thing
2
we got
minutes
extra
flat.
people here today.
Yes. And this week in 57-3, and another Ronnie Rim never even tipped his whip.
Yep.
Just whipped that back and didn't have to.
And that's ideal when you. It's about like a driver saying, "I never pop the earplugs."
Yeah. Yep. Did it all on their own.
And really, that is what they want.
Yeah.
That's the ideal
Absolutely.
situation.
Yes. Absolutely. So 9th race coming up. We've got a couple driver changes that we know about. The 4, Cypher, will be driven by Roy Thacker. And the 6, Pico Boone, Emmanuel Miller, up on the 6. So we're going to come right back to talk about the horses in this 9th race after these messages.
Cool Winds Farm is one of Ohio's premier standardbred breeding farms. Cool Winds stands the popular Dancin' Yankee, Jug winner Southwind Aussie, and the royally bred Western Fame. Cool Winds Farm is proud to present our yearling consignments at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 12th, and at the Standardbred Horse Sale in Harrisburg during the cool winds of November.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Just to show you how hot it is, I've gone to a headset and put the one earpiece behind my ear. My ears were getting hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little sweaty. And, every time that I think, oh, it's really hot, then I think about being back in the barn, having those horses blowing on your face, and how much hotter everybody is back there. We had a cookout yesterday at Scioto. We usually do that when they have that big qualifying day for 2-year-olds.
Did you have many people coming over into the grandstand area?
We had quite a few. We had a handful of people there that were watching from under the patio. I did see probably, another dozen or so people sitting up in the grandstand proper.
Oh, really?
I think they might have been getting a little bit more air up there or something.
So you set up in that lower area underneath the clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah. Yep, that's where we were. We did make a concession this year where we cooked the hamburgers inside instead of cooking them out on the grill.
With the new paddock, can horse owners and people go from in front of the clubhouse to the paddock?
Mm-hmm.
You still have that walkway and everything like that.
Yep, there is the walkway. It's not as finished as they're going to make it more finished, put some stairs in. Right now you walk along the concrete sidewalk, and then you have to walk down across the grass. But they're talking about putting in maybe even some seats there so you can watch.
Could you talk him into putting in one of those people movers that you just get on?
Like at the airport? That would be fun. I'll mention it to him. I don't know if it's going to go anyplace, but I'll mention it.
That would only add a couple 100,000.
Yeah. That's...
the amount of money that Caesars has spent with what they have done since they took over is phenomenal.
It is.
I mean, when you see other racetracks closing and things like this, and, it's a totally different story at Scioto Downs.
Yeah, they really care about racing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people hold the closing of Pompano Park and down there is against Caesar and such. But when you look at the value of that property, it became a point that they just really had to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just too much money to turn down and such like that. Of course, the governor wasn't making it that easy for harness racing either in the state of Florida, so I'm not saying it's all of that. But I guarantee you what Caesars has done at Scioto is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And the Breeders' Crown.
That's going to be really a fun year. Next year, we're going to, for Ohio, we're going to be celebrating 50 years of Ohio Sire Stakes, so that's going to be really exciting too. And then, of course, the Breeders' Crown and the Sire Stakes will be right there at Scioto Downs too, so it's going to be a really exciting year. Lots of stuff to do. We've got our young intern, Samantha Mayhew, who's sitting right beside me here. She was the identifier this morning, but as her time in the office, she's been looking up all the Ohio Sire Stakes races that she could find, old magazines and newspaper articles about it. So we've got a lot to go over and hopefully a lot of history to cover next year. Kind of fun to look back on all this stuff. I wrote a little note there was a harness racing history picture that Dean Hoffman posted about a horse winning the Sire Stakes, and I wrote in there that the OHHA was looking for information, and I got a call from a gentleman who's very the historian. He's going to send me all sorts of stuff about the Sire Stakes for the past 50 years.
Last week when we were talking about the Governor's Cup trophy that the OHH got. Hold on, I got to run.
Okay. Getting maybe some driver changes he's getting from our presiding judge. We'll check out. Okay.
Squall. Curtis Harper will drive. I guess you still pronounce it squaw.
It looks like
Drag it out or something.
So we do have a couple of awesome. We have a couple of scratches.
Well, we got the
later.
horses on the track, so you better run through this.
Okay, we'll do. Ronnie Wren Jr. is going to drive Suma's Legacy for Brian Brown, Hutchinson Harness, J. Ritter, H. Weingartner, and T. Holtzberry. This is a summa cum laude gelding out of a Real Desire mare, Unique Legacy. Purchased at the Ohio Selected Sale for $30,000. Did win his qualifier last week in 2-1 last quarter in 29 seconds flat. Go Pyromaniac, Tyler Rush up for Ron Steck. Ron Steck, Stephen Jeffers, and Mark Taggart all own this Catch the Fire gelding. Out of a Big Bad John mare, Give No Lip. This horse finished third in a qualifier last week, paces mile in 2 minutes and 3/5. Here's Diamond Stud and Cam McCowan from the 3-hole for trainer Jessica McCowan. Here's the Stock Incorporated and Leanne Carroll are the owners of this summa cum laude gelding. It's out of a Cam Luck mare. It's Perfect. Purchased at the Blooded Horse sale for $14,000. Finished second last week in his qualifier. Came home in 28-4, pace a mile in 2-1-1. Cipher from the 4-hole with Roy Thacker up. Trainer Brian Brown. This is a Down by the Seaside out of a Bettor's Delight mare. Fine Art, owned by Roy Thacker and W. Johnson, Rich Lombardo, and VIP Internet. This was a $35,000 purchase at the Standardbred Horse Sale in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and this is his first start. Another first starter, Squaw, Curtis Harker up for Ron Steck. A lather-up filly out of a Pet Rock mare, Gammy's Rockstar, Frederick Reed IV, is the owner. Pico Boone rounds out the field from the 6th hole. A Buckeye Classic sale purchase for $6,000. Tim Lane's the trainer. Corrine Lane and Divine Line Stable are the owners. This is a Fear the Dragon gelding out of Sun Beach somewhere mare. Sirius filly. Manny Miller will drive Pico Boone. Did qualify last week at Delaware right here. Finished 5th, was back a ways, but did pace in 2-4.
You know, I think I mentioned last week the stopwatch. I mean, my stopwatch and my binoculars and my ink pens, I keep dropping. I've already dropped the stopwatch once today.
Oh, no.
The binoculars just dropped. We do not have a desk or anything here, so using the chair as a desk. But the stopwatch, I told last week, it's marked Hanover Shoe Farms on the back.
Oh.
And it's my estimation that this stopwatch is at least in the range of 50 to 75 years.
Oh,
I
gosh.
do not know which one. I don't know when, but I bet you it was one of the initial split-second stopwatches ever.
Yeah.
And it originally had the leather strap attached to it.
Oh.
That leather strap, 50 to 75 years of age, finally broke.
Oh, gosh.
But the stopwatch is still going. It's got a broken stem in it, but if you can put it back in the right way, it still
keeps
works.
going?
I doubt that you could do any of that stuff with the stopwatches that you make today.
Right. I wonder if you can still buy a split-second stopwatch like that. A lot of them were Ritters.
I saw where one was offered on eBay,
Ah.
and they wanted something like $200 and some for it or something. And if I was in need of one, I'd pay that much for it. But I don't even know if they still make them.
Right.
Because you got those
They're all
commercial
digital
stopwatches now that time lapse and.
Yeah, I just, you like the feel of those stopwatches, and that's the right size, that one. I've got a split second that's was made by FinTech at one point, and I got it, but it's big, and it's hard to hold in your hand, you know, and it's really hard to hold in your hand with lines.
Well,
so
these stopwatches, the size of them and everything, was made for the drivers to carry. And, you know, back in the olden days, every driver carried a stopwatch.
Yeah.
In the race. They don't do it anymore. Because they got the Visumatic timers and they got the timing blocks at each spot and such. But back in the 50s and 60s, every single driver carried a stopwatch, except Mark Ferguson.
Never carried a stopwatch?
He never had a stopwatch.
Oh.
He had a stopwatch built into his brain.
Oh.
He'd tell me down at Pompano when we was training together, he says, we'll go down to the half in 1:02 and come home in a minute or something like that, you know, on the mile track. And we'd get to the half right there in 1:02.
Oh.
I carried a stopwatch, and he was always right on. Even when he raced at Scioto Downs, he was one of the top drivers at Scioto Downs back in the 60s. My biggest thrill one night was I trained a horse by the name of Terry Painter in Florida, trained her all the time. And I just stopped at Scioto one night, and Mark says, you want to warm your horse up? And, I jumped at it real quick and warmed her up. And she won that night, and I think it was 57 and something. And that was back in the early 70s. Pacers are all in behind the gate. Gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Here's Diamond Stud going for the lead. Suma's Legacy on the inside grabs the racetrack for Ronnie Wren Jr. Up on the outside third, that is Cypher settling in. Racing fourth is the race to the backside. And the first eight, it's Go Pyromaniac. Racing fifth, Squaw. And treading the field, Pico Boone. Straight alignment down the backside to the first quarter mark. Opening quarter in 31-2. Into the turn they go. The leader is Suma's Legacy by a length and a quarter. Right there second as they race into the turn. Coming to the 3/8 is Here's Diamond Stud. They're by the 3/8 mark. Into the stretch they come to the halfway station. Racing fourth, it is Go Pyromaniac as they race over to the halfway point. Halfway home in 101-3. Into the turn, racing fifth is Squaw, and treading the field, Pico Boone. On to the backside in the 5/8 mark, into the Paddock turn. The leader is Suma's Legacy, tipping to the outside. Moving up on the leader, that is Here's Diamond Stud. Now second for Cam McGowan and challenging. Coming to the outside is Go Pyromaniac at the 3/4 in 131-3. Into the final turn, they're toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose, stride for stride, and joining them 3 wide on the outside. Up the inside, looking for some daylight, Cypher. 4 of them in contention with 1/8 of a mile to go in Ohio. On top of the field, trying to hang on, is Suma's Legacy on the inside. It is going to be Suma's Legacy. Home second. Here's Diamond Stud. Racing third was Go Pyromaniac. Cypher was fourth, and I did not get who was fifth and sixth because I think that was another photo. And boy, this is right at 2 minutes or maybe a tick faster. Well, I got the middle watch, so we'll go with mine.
Stats in the judges stand. So Suma's Legacy, this is his second win. He won last week right here at Delaware in 2-1. And won this week in 159-4.
Results are official. Number 1, Suma's Legacy, the winner. The 2, Go Pyromaniac, 3. The 3, Here's Diamond Stud, 2. The 4, Cypher, 4. The 5, Squaw, 5. The 6, Pico Boone, 6. Top down, 1, 3, 2. 4, 5, 6 on the bottom. The quarter, 31-2. The half, 101-3. 3/4, 131-3. The mile, 159. 4/5.
It's kind of unusual. Those horses finished exactly like they did last week in their qualifiers. Suma's Legacy won his qualifier last week, won this week. Here's a Diamond Stud, was second last week, second this week, and Go Pyromaniac third last week and third this week.
They were in against each other last week? Or was that different races?
Let me see. The 1 and the 2, Suma's Legacy and Here's Diamond Stud were in the same race. One's a finished first and second.
Yeah.
The other
that would have been something if we were in the same race and finished the same order.
But that would have been.
2 of them did.
So 10th race coming up, a 2-year-old trot. There's 1 filly in it. Let's see. We're going to need some driver changes, but we'll get you those after these messages.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Hi, I'm Dean Gillespie, and I want to tell you about the Ohio Colt Racing Association. There's 19 member fairs, and they sponsor the Partial Futurity in Greenville, Ohio. You need to race in the OCRA. Great racetracks, great people. Bring the kids and come out to the fair, and remember, fair time is fun time.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. First race post time is 5:45. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation July 6th. Thrilling harness racing at El Dorado Scioto Downs. One track, 90 racing days, 100% action. Horse players can earn points with the new Caesars Reward Program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Racing returns May 9th.
Okay, welcome back to Delaware. We're going on the 10th race this morning, talking about the fairs, OCRA. We have an OCRA meet tonight and tomorrow. The Putnam County Fair at Ottawa, we're going to be racing a change from your Huff's Guide. They have made the races are going to start. Post time is now 3 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock, so hopefully we will be live on there. We're having some technical problems with Delaware here. That's why we're coming to you on a tape delay, I guess we'll call it. But we're hopefully we will be live with you tonight from Ottawa at 3 o'clock. And then next week we go, or the end of this week, we go to Marion. The Marion County Fair is Monday, June 30th and Tuesday, July 1st. Both post times are 11 a.m. And we go to Wilmington the 7th and 8th of July, 5 p.m. post time, both times at Wilmington, the Clinton County Fair. And then that same week on the 7th and 8th, we are at Bell Fountain, Logan County Fair.
And I think it's my fair, my first fair in Ohio.
Your first fair?
No, the next one.
The next one. Cortland.
Cortland!
You're going to be announcing. I see that you are announcing at Cortland.
I'll be driving in from Goshen, New York.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Leave Goshen about 5 a.m. Monday morning. And, hope to make it to Cortland Monday night for races. Doubleheader at noon and 5:30.
Yeah. Yep.
On Tuesday, the 8th. And I can't wait for my county fair season to get underway. I think 15 or 16 Ohio County Fairs.
Do you to announce it? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how many years they referred to me as a county fair announcer, and I use that title very proudly. And it's amazing what for me at least, that 66 years announcing county fairs in the state of Ohio. Mm-hmm. Even the years that I had to turn a lot of my fairs over to Doug Ballinger because Pompano decided to race quarter horses in the summertime, and I couldn't afford to leave Florida and my regular year-round job, so to speak. So it gave a lot of them to Doug, but even when we got home, I was able to keep 2 or 3 county fairs each year, and I'm just big lover of county fairs. There are so many people. I even talk in Freshman Focus. We talked to the likes of Rosie Weaver and people that race a lot at the county fairs, and they all agree it's just a fun time to go, and different routine than going to the race meets. You go to the race meets, everybody's so busy and talking and worrying about doing this and doing that, but a much more relaxed atmosphere at the county fairs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel the same way about them, but
absolutely. I think they are a lot more, as you said, a lot more relaxing. Even you see Rosie, especially in her crew, they park their trailers and they just have a really good time. She said they pack sandwiches, they bring the dogs, they just enjoy it. So it is a lot of fun. And the nice thing about Ohio is you can make some money at the fairs, too.
Even Frank Frost loved the county fairs, but I think it was for the food.
I think you are right. It was.
You guys who's going to do the food report this year?
Wow, it's going to be tough. We're going to try really hard to do it, but it's going to be tough to.
Where was it you recommended the fish sandwich at Lancaster?
Yep.
Yep. I got a good memory.
You do.
That was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, you have to walk across the track and up the hill, but it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. I don't know if that's the same. No, I don't think it's the same one that's here. That at the Delaware, that fish sandwich is down there. What is it? A walleye sandwich is so good.
Yeah. Everybody talks about the walleye sandwiches at Delaware.
Yeah.
One year they had a concession stand back by the log cabin.
Oh.
And it wasn't for walleyes, but it was fried bologna.
Oh.
They were busy all day long.
That seems to be the thing in Ohio, the fried bologna sandwiches. I have never had one yet.
Well, there's a restaurant in Waldo, Ohio, and that's their specialty.
Oh.
So during Fair Week, people in Delaware County don't have to go to Waldo. They can get it right here at the fairgrounds.
They are going at the Jackson County Fair in Wellston on Friday, July 11th. They're going to be selling bologna sandwiches. They're going to have a little fundraiser for the Hunter Myers family. And
are those fried bologna
fried bologna sandwiches and popsicles. That's what they're going to be selling at the FFA booth. They're going to bring the FFA trailer over towards the backside so that the horsemen can all enjoy that. Have a special little ceremony in honor of Hunter and have those bologna sandwiches.
I'm going to be making my regular trip to the Vincent Delaney Memorial August the 3rd through I think the 11th or 12th. And as soon as I get home, I head for Rock Springs.
Rock Springs.
Can you imagine announcing it to Terra Prince in Wales, and the next up, Rock Springs County Fair.
It's great getting another call from David Stat, so we'll see about a driver change. But Clifton Bell is down on 2 horses in this race, so. Okay, Mickey.
Driver changes upcoming 10th. The 1, Bitcoin King, will be Ronnie Wren Jr. Ronnie Wren Jr. will drive the 1, Bitcoin King. And number 5, Cast No Stones, will be Mickey Holiday. Mickey Holiday, as this is a Chris Beaver Invitational.
Yep, a Chris Beaver Trot. So from the rail, we've got Bitcoin King with Ronnie Wren Jr. up. Owners are Part-Time Stable from Napoleon, Michigan. This is an Uncle Peter colt out of a Muscle Mass mare, Massive Girl. It was purchased at the Buckeye Classic sale for $9,000. Qualified here at Delaware last week, finished 3rd, trotted in 2, 3, and 4, but came home in 28 seconds flat. Driving Through the Smoke, Emmanuel Miller up for Norman Ray Racing. This is an Enterprise gelding out of a My MVP mare, non-smoker. Finished 2nd in the qualifier last week, trotted in 2-6 last quarter, 29 seconds flat. Whiskey Twist, Clifton Bell will drive. This is a $47,000 purchase at the Ohio Selected Sale. A Ready for Money out of a Muscle Yankee mare, Manhattan AS, owned by Beaver, Bolichek, Fleming, and Maines. Has had 2 starts, started at the Paulding Fair, finished 2nd there in 2:12 and 1, and then finished 2nd in his qualifier last week in 2:5 and 3. Buy Me a Boat. Chris Beaver will drive this one. This is a What the Hill gelding out of a Tagliabue mare, Rondo in red. Chris and Stephen Z. Handler both own this colt. He qualified last week, made a break right at the head of the stretch, finished 4th, but trotted in 2:7 and 1. And Cast No Stones from the 5-hole, Mickey Holiday up. This is the lone filly in the race, a Muscle Up the Goal filly out of an Iron Duke mare, Bama's Last Chance. Chris Beaver and Steve Z. Handler are the owners. Won her qualifier last week in 2-3, coming home in 29 and 3.
Field of 5 trotters going to the post in the 10th. All 5 out of the Chris Beaver stable. What are the odds that Chris Beaver will cut it out? Or is he just driving this horse because the horse made a break in the qualifier last week? We'll find out shortly as the 2-year-old trotters in behind the Wupkenberg starting gate. Gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting from the outside. Cast No Stones leads, goes into the turn. On the inside, driving through smoke, is now on top of the field, and Chris Beavers makes a break as he did last week. Buy Me a Boat. Racing to the backside, working the way to the top. From outside, it's Cast No Stones and Mickey Holiday to take the lead. Driving through smoke is there second. As they race over to the first quarter in 29 and 2. Moving up on the outside comes Bitcoin King from third. Now second and going after the leaders. Clifton Bell sits fourth with Whiskey Twist. As they race around the turn, trailing the field, Buy Me a Boat. 2-year-old trotter, straight alignment, passing the stands first time, coming to the halfway point. Cast No Stones brings them over to the half. Halfway home in 58 and 2. Speedy first half for trotters. Into the turn they go. Bitcoin King right there second with a 2-hole trip. Racing third. Driving through smoke. Racing fourth. The end of the turn. It's Whiskey Twist, and trailing the field, making another break, was Buy Me a Boat. Down the backside, go on to the 3-quarter station. Wren pulls the pocket. 3 quarters in 1:29 and 4. The tempo slowed down in that one as the leader is starting to fade a bit. The new leader is Bitcoin King on the outside. Driving through smoke is now second and closing. Cast No Stones dropping back third and losing ground with each and every stride. Into the stretch, coming home. It's all Bitcoin King with the lead. Home second was driving through smoke. Cast No Stones third. Whiskey Twist fourth. Buy Me a Boat ran out of gas. So Chris Beaver, we know why he was driving the 4-horse, and going to have to do some work on this one because he made breaks again this week. He puts Ronnie Wren Jr. up on Bitcoin King, which was an indication who possibly would be the best in this one. It was a fast opening half, and then they kind of backed off a bit coming home. Middle time, so that'd be 2 minutes flat. I had 59 and 4, so middle timer would be 2 minutes flat here in the 10th race. The fractions.
29 and 2, 58 and 2, 1.
In the second half, which is quite unusual. Yep. That's what I do. Quarter 29 and 2, 58 and 2, 129.4, 2 minutes flat. Okay. Whew. Complete order of finish. Bitcoin King, the winner. Driving through smoke, 2. The 3, Whiskey Twist, 4. The 4, Buy Me a Boat, 5. The 5, Cast No Stones, 3. Quarter 29 and 2. The half 58 and 2. 3 quarters 129.4. The mile 2 minutes flat.
So your winner, Bitcoin King, trotted his mile last week in 2, 3, and 4, came home in 28 seconds flat, and this week won in 2 minutes flat. So an improvement over last week, which is what you'd like to see. So 11th race coming up. This is our last 2-year-old race. We've got a couple of, let's see, we've got a 2-year-old in the last race, but those are 3-year-olds and up the last 2 races. So the 11th coming up. Couple driver changes to let you know about. Circus will be driven by Bo Brown, and Western Pants will be driven by Emmanuel Miller. Those are all the changes we know of right now. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back for race 11 at the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
Delaware, we got 11th, 12th, and 13th left to go, so we should trying to get done in time to get Roger to his he's got record some radio commercials for the Little Brown Jug, so he has an appointment at 1 o'clock, so we're trying to get him out of here to get those, and I will be leaving right away to go to Ottawa for their 3 o'clock post time tonight. So Jay Wolf is going to be joining me there along with Matt Clark. He's going to be running everything at Ottawa, so we'll be headed up there right away after this. As I said, this is our last 2-year-old race. The 12th race is 3-year-old and up trot. We've got some older horses. We've got a horse in here that been racing in the opens, was racing in the opens at Miami Valley. Caviar Gold. He's a winner of $684,000. So really nice horse in there. And then on the outside, we got one scratch in that 12th race, but we've got horses who have only made $8,000, $48,000. We've got one horse that hasn't made any money at all. Has been making some breaks, so it's kind of intimidating to be in with a horse called Caviar Gold, who has earned so much money and has a mark of 151 and a piece at Dayton. So that should be a good race to watch, that 12th race. And then the 13th race is a 2-year-old and up pace where we've got, we got an 11-year-old and a 2-year-old racing against each other, a couple of 3-year-olds. So again, that should be quite a race. It's always, like I said, a little intimidating to be in with horses that are that good. But you never know.
It was kind of funny, but you mentioned an 11-year-old in with a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't happen very often.
No.
Yeah, especially if it's a pari-mutuel race at any racetrack or something like that. But that was normal back in the early days of county fairs, because I remember a race they had at Xenia one year. It was a non-winners $200. Also eligible 2-year-olds making their first start.
Oh.
A field of 12
on
a half-mile track. The winner won the race in 2:17 and 2, and it was the 2-year-old that won the race.
Oh, wow.
And all the other horses were older horses.
Wow.
So conditions were quite varied in the earlier days.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have and everybody and that's what I always loved about the county fairs and races like that, is that it gave horses a place to start, and gave horses that were maybe on the end of their career a place to race still.
And not just the horses, but it's the ideal place to start for young drivers.
Yes.
Just getting started.
Yeah, you don't have to go quite so fast. Just a great place for people and horses.
In this 11th race, Curtis Harper drives the 1, cruising to the pier. Bo Brown drives the 2, Circus. Circus is a horse that shied from the tractor warming up for the race last week and went down. Horse was cleared, nothing really wrong with the horse, so it was cleared to race in the qualifier. And Circus finished second in the qualifier in 2 minutes and a fifth, which indicates there's nothing wrong with the horse.
Right.
But the rest of the story on that was, in the process of getting the horse up with all the equipment and the sulking and everything, the horse ran over Brian Brown. And he was a bit sore for 2 or 3 days. He wasn't the driver. Bo Brown was the driver on the horse, but Brian trying to help to get the horse up.
Wow.
Oh.
That was being in the right place, because he was trying to do the right thing, but in the wrong time. Let's take a quick look at these horses cruising to the pier, because Roger said Curtis Harper up for trainer Ron Steck. This horse is owned by Steck, Anvil and Lace, Taggart Farms, and Jeffries. This is a down by the seaside filly out of a Yankee Cruiser mare, cruising to the dance. Qualified here last week, finished 5th, paced her mile in 2:3. Circus, Lexington selected sale for $50,000. Brian Brown trains. Overheiser, Van Dusen, Sabraco, and Lerculi own this down by the seaside colt. The 3, Maserati Marv, Ronnie Wren Jr. up for Brian Brown. The 4, Like a Ferrari, Tyler Rush up for Ron Steck. This is a cattle wash. Purchased at the Lexington selected sale for $47,000. Barcelona Legend, Darren Dowler trains, drives, and co-owns. This is a bit of a legend colt. Finished 3rd in his qualifier last week. And Western Pants, Manny Miller up for Tim Lane, Springhaven Farm. A filly by Western fame, finished 5th in her qualifier last week. Paced her mile in 2:2 and 1.
2-year-old Pacers moving in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing, going for the lead. That's Barcelona Legend on the outside, but on the inside, that's Bo Brown and Circus going right to the top. As they race around the turn, going to the first 8th. Circus leads the way. Maserati Marv is right there second, slightly gapped in the 3rd spot. Curtis Harper with Cruising to the Pier. Down the backside they go, racing 4th. Barcelona Legend as they race over to the first quarter in 31 seconds. Into the turn, go on to the 3/8 mark, racing 5th. As they race around that turn, that is Western Pants and trailing the field. Going to the 3/8 is Like a Ferrari. Into the lane, first time, coming to the halfway point. Straight alignment, 2-year-old Pacers, led by Bo Brown and Circus as they race over to the halfway point in 1:01 and 3. Into the turn, right there second is Maserati Marv. Further gapped out 3rd is Cruising to the Pier. Ready to come to the outside 4th, Ronnie Wren Jr. with Maserati Marv. Pulling the pocket, moving up on the outside. Going after the leader now. Maserati Marv takes the lead. Down the backside they go. Over to the 3/4 in 1:30-2. The tempo has picked up. Into the turn, Maserati Marv with the lead by 2 1/4. Circus is there second. Coming to the outside third is Cruising to the Pier. Racing fourth, Barcelona Legend. Into the stretch and drawn away with each and every stride, Maserati Marv. Circus is second. Cruising to the Pier, third. Barcelona Legend was fourth, finishing fifth, Like a Ferrari, and sixth was Western Pants. Woo! They came home in this one. This one, 55-1. Last quarter, 26-2. Wow. Wait till you see these fractions. 31, 101.3, 130-2. The mile, 156-4. Last half, 55-1. Last quarter, 26-2. Woo. Okay. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Maserati Marv, final half, 55-1. Final quarter, 26-2. The 1, Cruising to the Pier, 3. The 2, Circus, 2. The 3, Maserati Marv, the winner. The 4, Like a Ferrari, 5. The 5, Barcelona Legend, 4. The 6, Western Pants, 6. Top down, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 6 on the bottom. Quarter 31. The half, 101.3. 3/4, 130-2. The mile, 156, 4/5.
Maserati Marv had a really nice qualifier last week. Went in 2-1-2, won by 5.5 lengths. Came home in 27-3, but that looked pretty slow compared to this week's. 56-4, like you said, last quarter in 26-2. A really, really great mile. That is a well-said colt out of a Stonebridge Regal mare, Meadowland Lindy Lou, Tammy Hoovler, Lehman, Keith, and Hoovler all owned that gelding, so a nice start for Maserati Marv. Roger's still shaking his head over that one.
Yeah, I was disappointed as slow as it was going early on because I thought it would go faster than that. But more, they put the pedal to the metal when they decided to go that final half.
Yeah, absolutely, and looked good doing it. Just looked effortless.
Coming home
doing
in 26-4.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, that's a big mile any place on a half-mile track. 12th race coming up is a 3-year-old and up trot. As we said, we've got all ages in here. So we're going to be back to a look at these horses right after this.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug Winner Luz Perlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
A driver on either the 1 or the 5 also. Chris Beaver's down to drive both the 1 and 5. And as Roger said, Chris Page is down to drive the 2, but we don't think that he is here. So we will have some driver changes, and we're advised of a scratch. The 6 horse, Awesome Night, is a scratch. So all the rest of the horses have had some experience. As we talked about, Caviar Gold,
yeah, he's had
little experience. Yeah.
I mean, he's not a newcomer.
Absolutely not. It's 20 wins in his lifetime, and he's just a 6-year-old, so he's made a lot of money, $684,000. Took a mark as a 5-year-old of 151-3 at Dayton. Mark this year 53-4 at Miami Valley. Really a nice horse. Been raced all fall and winter in the opens at Miami Valley.
Guess who Chris Beaver's driving?
I would think he's driving that horse.
Yeah. So we will have a driver change on Triple Kiss.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of fun to drive that horse, I'll bet. You know, he just hasn't started since the 23rd of April, so he just probably uses this to get a mile so he can go right back to the races. Probably go to Scioto Downs, I would think. Maybe North. I don't know, does he race at Northfield? All that we see here is that he raced at Miami Valley in his last 6 starts.
I wonder if he's had a problem developed or he just give him some time off before the stake season really got here.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, of course, he would race in the older division of sire stakes, I guess.
Yeah.
And they really go.
Yeah, they go fast. They go some. Here comes Caviar Gold around the track, warming up. He looks like a big horse, too.
Yeah.
Good size horse.
Chris's head is about right up even with his rear end.
Yeah. So in this 12th race, we got Caviar Gold, Chris Beaver up. Chris is the trainer, owned by Beaver, Maines, Fleming, and Z Handler. A 6-year-old gelding by Triumphant Caviar out of a Holiday Road mare, G. O'Keefe. Has had, as we said, 71 lifetime starts, 20 wins, 17 seconds, and 10 thirds.
Emmanuel Miller is on the 3.
Okay. Speed of an Angel.
Let's see. Is this? Pretty sure that's Ron Steck on the 2.
So the 2 is Southwind Hank. Looks like Ron Steck is up. Ron's also the trainer and co-owns his horse along with Hawkins, Fossey, Stable, and Ibenson. This is a 3-year-old by Bar Hopping out of an Andover Hall mare, Missy May Bluestone. Just had 1 start as a 2-year-old. Comes back and has 2 starts so far this year. Had a couple qualifiers at Scioto Downs and has been making some breaks between the quarter and the half, so we'll see if Ron can get him straightened out today. Speed of an Angel with Emmanuel Miller up from the 3-hole. Emmanuel Miller, the trainer and part owner of this horse, along with Peter Gentile. This is a 3-year-old filly by Marseille out of a Muscle Massive mare, Keystone Angel. Did have a start at Paulding and won there in 2-6-2. Had 14 starts last year with 5 wins as a freshman and a mark of 2 minutes flat right here at Delaware. Peter the Con, Ed Hennessy drives for Sandra Hennessy. She trains and owns. There's a 6-year-old Uncle Peter out of a Jailhouse Jesse Mayer, Jesse's Con. No starts this year. Had 10 starts last year, 1 win, and 58-1 at Northfield Park. Had a 2-year-old mark of 57 flat at Delaware. And Triple Kiss, Clifton Bell will drive from the 5-hole. Did you say Clifton?
Clifton Bell.
Clifton Bell, yep. For trainer Chris Beaver, Thomas Hicks from Pompano Beach, Florida, the owner. This is a 3-year-old filly by Tactical Landing out of a Cantab Hall, girl with a past. Had 5 starts last year, 1 win. That was at Scioto Downs in 57-1. Has had 1 start this year. That was at Hoosier Park. Finished 7th, but trotted in 59-4. Had a couple earlier qualifiers at Hoosier Park. Trotted in 55-4 over there at Hoosier, finishing 2nd. So this could be a fast race.
This is just a guess, but I would think Beaver would want to go somewhere in the range of 58, maybe a little faster even than that, depending on when that first start is after the break. Hasn't raced since April the 23rd, finished 5th. The horse had won 2 out of 3 starts and then finished 7th, 9th, and 5th. So that may have some reason he wanted to give the horse some time off.
Yeah. Back 5 starts, he trotted in 52-4. And that was in March, so that's a good mile in the cold.
Got a mark of 51-3.
Yeah.
Trotters are all in behind the gate. The 8 swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. Caviar Gold goes for the lead. Up on the outside, Peter the Con racing second. Into the turn third. As they race over to the first 8, the Speed of an Angel. Racing fourth, Triple Kiss, and treading the field. Following the break, Southwind Hank. Off stride. Down the backside they go. It's Chris Beaver on the engine. Caviar Gold, he's going to cut the fractions in this mile as they race over to the first quarter mark. Opening quarter in 29-4. Into the turn, racing second, Peter the Con. Racing third as they race over to the 3/8 mark. It's Speed of an Angel, followed by Triple Kiss, back trotting but trailing Southwind Hank. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Caviar Gold races to the half, 58-4. Tempo is picked up a bit. Racing second, staying with him, Peter the Con. Now starting to gap out a bit. Racing third, Speed of an Angel. Fourth, Triple Kiss. And the trailer remains Southwind Hank. Caviar Gold, Chris Beaver's got the pedal to the metal. Going to the 3/4 mark. 3 quarters, 1:27. Into the final turn. He's going all out in this one. Caviar Gold is opened up by 15 on Peter the Con. Tipping to the outside, Speed of an Angel. But coming home under a basic hand drive, Caviar Gold. Woo! That ought to tell you something, folks. I'll check with the other watches. But this could be the fastest mile we've had this week, or last week and this week.
54-3?
Never mind, we're going to go with that time because that's exactly what I got. 1:54 3/5. 1:54-3. Wow. Quarters. going all out. 54-3.
Nice to watch.
Caviar Gold is back.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear these fractions. 29-4, 58-4, 127. Judges are not as thrilled with as I am when it comes to times.
Looks like we might be having a little schooling going on here before the last race.
I wonder if this was why he's doing that is Mike going to Ottawa himself?
I don't know. So it looks like we're.
Good, because we got one race to go yet, so it's probably going to be leaving here around 12:25, and it says like 38 minutes to get there. So I'll be there. I'll be there. Thank you for changing it. Okay. Yeah. That's the way my Waze has got me going. It says 38 minutes, so I should be all right. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye.
So I am guessing that this is Southwind Hank getting a little schooling here.
My recording station is on.
Oh.
They said if I don't get there till 1:30, it'll be fine. So
great.
Don't have to worry about that.
Won't have to rush then. We do have one more race to go. 13th race, 2-year-old and up pacers. We are waiting for them to come on the track, and while we're waiting, Southwind Hank getting a little bit of extra schooling.
You know, everybody always gets on me on Facebook that says, what are you doing with that schedule being 82 coming on 83 years old? Believe me when I tell you, it's the only thing that keeps you going.
Yeah. If you stopped, you would just stop.
If you stop, you lose it. And
yeah.
Just the schedule we got even for the next 8 or 10 days is just unreal. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that is the bottom line. We'll be back with the final race from Delaware, Ohio in just a few moments.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC oil. It makes a world of difference.
Midland Acres is proud to stand the Prominent Stallions, TCI, Long Tom, Ready for Money, Monty Mickey, Summa Cum Laude, and Bit of a Legend. With such great pedigree and speed in the Stallion barn, Midland Acres will provide a diverse group of top yearlings in the sale ring for 2025. Visit us this fall at our consignments at the Blooded Horse Sale on August 26th, the Ohio Select Jug Sale on September 12th, and the Lexington Select Sale on September 29th through October 3rd. Let Midland Acres experience in the industry lead you to the winner's circle.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Okay, we're going to have some changes in this 13th race. Dave, our presiding judge, is giving Roger looks like we got a few scratches in this race. I think we're scratched down to a 3-horse field, right?
And it may go to a 2-horse field.
Oh.
We'll wait on that, since there might be another scratch. Now, I don't know whether running a bit late has caused people to have to be elsewhere, or whether these, let's see, are they all ship-ins?
It's
Terry
all the
Henry,
same trainer, yep.
Oh, they're all Terry Henry.
All Terry Henry, so, yeah.
Oh,
so
I got 3 horses on the track, so they're all going to go to the post here.
Okay, so the 1 is a scratch. The 3 and the 4 are all scratch, so it leaves us a 3-horse field. Duck Duck Dragon from the 2. This is an 11-year-old mare trained by David Warrenstaff, owned by David, and driven by Emma Wahlberg. This is a 11-year-old mare by Dragon again out of a Camluck mare. Ducky's Delight has not had any starts this year. Did have a qualifier here at Delaware last week, finished 3rd, paced in 59-2. Has had 180 lifetime starts, made $201,000. Yacht Rock, Manny Miller will drive for Tim Lane and Columbus Yacht Club. A summa cum laude 2-year-old out of a Rockin' Amadeus mare, Best Place to Rock. Qualified here at Delaware last week, paced in 2-2-3, last quarter 29-1. And Laughing in the Rain, Bo Brown owns, trains, and drives this 3-year-old down by the seaside out of Cam's Card Shark mare, Get the Look. 2 starts this year. One was at Northfield last week and paced in 2-2-3. Qualified at Scioto in 59-3, and also had a start at Scioto, but finished back paced in 58-3. So just the 3 of them going to the gate. The 2, Duck Duck Dragon, Emma Wahlberg. The 5, Yacht Rock, Manny Miller. And the 6, Laughing in the Rain, Bo Brown.
Paces are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Duck Duck Dragon going right out for the lead. Getting away second is Laughing in the Rain, and off stride, trading the field, but back pacing now, Yacht Rock. Field over to the first quarter mark. Emma Wahlberg, Duck Duck Dragon leads by 2 1/4. Racing second, Bo Brown with Laughing in the Rain. And home third, Yacht Rock. Opening quarter, 29-2. Into the turn they go. Emma Wahlberg cuts it out with Duck Duck Dragon. 2-length margin over Laughing in the Rain, driven by Bo Brown. Yacht Rock trying to catch the field for Emmanuel Miller. A lot of gaps. 3-horse event coming to the halfway point. Halfway home, 58-2. On to the turn they go. Duck Duck Dragon, 2 1/2. Laughing in the Rain. Further back, Yacht Week, or Yacht Walk. There's a horse named Yacht Week. Down the backside of the 3-quarter station, it's all Duck Duck Dragon. 3 quarters. Well, backed off a little. 129. Moving on the outside, here comes Yacht Rock. Closing with every stride. Third, Laughing in the Rain. Battles on. Duck Duck Dragon on the inside. Yacht Rock on the outside. Made a break early on. Coming back with Emmanuel Miller to get it all. Yacht Rock. Duck Duck Dragon. Laughing in the Rain. Of course, that's a bad qualifier for the winner with the break early on.
$58-3. He's going to get the official rundown from the judge.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Gotta get him here. 29-2. 58-2. 129. The mile. 158 3/5. Thank you. We'll see you.
So that's a Yacht Rock second qualifier last week in 2, 2, and 3. This week 58-3.
Results are official. 1 was scratched. The 2, Duck Duck Dragon 2. The 3 and 4 were scratched. The 5, Yacht Rock. The winner, Laughing in the Rain, third. Quarters 29-2, 58-2. 3 quarters 129. The mile 158 3/5. Susan, you're on the way to Ottawa. I'm on the way to record commercials. Have a safe trip.
You too. We'll see you next time.
Qualifiers by tape delay right here on the Ohio Harness Horseman Association Facebook page. And we're this afternoon, a little later on, it's racing from Ottawa with post time
3
p.m. Be there.